So, you know what I absolutely love about San Diego? Well, everywhere you go, there's cool plants. It's not like the Bay Area where there's like lame plants most of the time. Less and less so because now I'm there selling the cool stuff. And then just like, lame stuff mostly, and then punctuated by some really cool stuff. So let me tell you my story. I grew up in the Bay Area, loved plants, and couldn't get enough of them, but there are very few to be had because all the nurseries didn't really sell anything cool. So nothing ever got out the door that was cool. And occasionally you'd see a king palm or a queen palm or canary palm or bougainvillea or something like that. And I'd be like, whoa, what is that? And I try to go explain at the nursery like what, to buy a king palm or something. And they'd be like, no, it won't grow here. Sorry, these are the only ones that grow. But then I went to San Diego State and a light went off in my head. And I'm like, this is amazing. There were just cool exotic plants everywhere. Exotic plants were the norm. They were just like the background noise. And so here I am at an office complex. This is just some typical office complex, okay? And it looks like the coolest botanical garden you can imagine. It's so pretty, okay? It's got all these succulents, all this color contrast. We'll take a quick little tour. But the one thing that made me pull over, I want to show you, is the most beautiful palm I think that exists. It is not this one. This is the foxtail palm. This was only discovered like maybe 25, 30 years ago. And now it's all over San Diego. It's a great tree down here. Up in the Bay Area, it's a little bit challenged because it needs more heat. Places like Fremont, San Jose, Concord, probably good enough as long as it stays fairly frost-free. And especially if you put it next to a hot wall. This wall faces west. These trees love it here. And you can see this tree gets this really beautiful crown shaft up here. Those are the seeds on it right there. And the tree is self-cleaning, sort of. The fronds will fall off the tree right up here, as did this one right here. While I was here, it fell down. And it's self-cleaning, meaning that it'll come off the tree, but once it falls off the tree, it's not self-cleaning. You got to pick it out. So it's kind of a misnomer, self-cleaning. But anyway, this is Woodettia bifurcata, the foxtail palm. And it's called the foxtail palm because the fronds look like the tail of a fox. So that's a really great tree. So remember that one, Woodettia bifurcata. Now we'll keep cruising along here. Here is the king palm from Australia. Super wonderful plant. We sell this all the time up there. Does well in the Bay Area. Doesn't want to be in a really windy spot because the fronds, even here it does that a little bit. They get a little beat up, even more so in the Bay Area because it takes a while for them to get replaced. And up in the Bay Area, it takes longer because they grow slower. But it has this beautiful trunk. Here's a classic triple shape, okay? And we sell these up there. And these are hardy. I'm growing these in Lafayette in my garden. They're probably hardy to like 25 degrees or so. You can see on this office complex, normally where you'd have a bunch of grass and lawn, you have beautiful succulent ground covers that use hardly any water at all. They don't use any chemicals. So many great things to say about that. No chemicals and no water. Here's the king palm again. But the whole reason I'm here, remember, is to show you the most beautiful palm there is. And that would be a little further down the road over here. So I'm going to make things up to kill the time while I walk through here. And you see this beautiful reflective quality of these windows. Not only does it reflect the palm, but look, there's the camera guy. Hey! So here we go. There's some beautiful Senecio. You've got different varieties of Aeonium. And here's a gorgeous Kentia palm here, right there. But look over here. I just discovered this waterfall at your office complex. Look at this. You have an office complex? Call me up. We'll design the whole thing. We'll make it look just like this. And look at this succulent. I don't even know what this is, but maybe some kind of crassula. But how pretty is that? I'm going to get a cutting of that before I go. Hopefully there's no security cameras. You guys can bail me out if I get busted. Again, here's the Woodettia, the foxtail palm. But that's not the prettiest palm there is. And neither is the Kentia palm. The Kentia palm's a really beautiful palm. Here's a good contrast between a Kentia and a king. King's native to Australia, rainforest of Australia, has a crown shaft like that, nice single trunk. nice and straight. The Kentia grows not quite as straight, has no crown shaft, holds much more foliage in a much denser pattern, is much more wind tolerant because the native habitat of this tree is Lord Howe Island, and it grows right at the high tide mark. So it's used to oceanic wind, whereas the king palm is not. King palm is much less expensive, but doesn't hold up as a wind nearly as much. And so again, in here, we have this beautiful garden in here. Waterfalls pounding. Got a bunch of alocasia in there, elephant ears, all kinds of wonderful stuff. But the tree I really, really, really wanted to show you is this one right here. Look at that. Can you name that tree? There's two of them. And they're self-cleaning too, but not entirely because the frond got caught on the seed structure there. But this is a really, really cool palm. You remember the wood yetia, the foxtail palm? Well, this is a hybrid of that palm, the wood yetia. And apparently it's hardier than both parents. One parent is the wood yetia, the foxtail palm. The other parent is a palm called Veitchia bifurcatum. And so the foxtail palm is called the foxtail palm. So this one they named a really good name. It's called that I would certainly appreciate because I love this kind of thing, as does Jimi Hendrix. They call this palm, ready? 1, 2, 3, the Foxy Lady. I'm coming to get you, girl. So yeah, that's the Foxy Lady palm. Now, it has beautiful sort of ruffled look to it. Apparently it grows faster and is hardier than either parent. So I'm hoping that this plant might actually do well in the Bay Area. And so we're gonna give it a go. I haven't tried it. In fact, I don't know anyone who's tried it, but that's something that we're gonna do. But this is the first time I've actually seen really tall plants like this, well, anywhere that are this big. Here's some more in here. And I'll back up so you can see the overall look of these guys. They've got them right at the entry. And it has a green crown shaft, just like the parent. But it has a very exotic kind of upper part of the trunk where it's kind of a glaucous green. And they say that it's hardier than both parents. And the wood yetia, it's one of its parents, that one right there, is just about hardy enough for the Bay Area. So if these things are tougher than the both parents, then we might have a shot to grow this plant. So we'll have to do an update once I grow them. That's it, and thanks for watching the video.